and then Defensive Player of the Year award. When you think about accolades like that, do you agree Wemby's going to get it?
I feel like the narrative is being pushed for Wemby to get it.
Stated that he believes there's a narrative being pushed for you to be Defensive Player of the Year. But what's your response to people that may believe that if you were to receive an accolade in regards to your defense, do you believe that would be due to an NBA narrative?
Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Now, Defensive Player of the Year, it seems like the last few years there's been like a lot of controversy. Some feeling like, it's just given to the leader in shots blocked. And so it's been going to Rudy Gobert. Now Marcus Smart broke that up and actually was able to do that without leading the league in blocks or steals. He was actually able to just sit down, guard his man, which you see other people saying, that's what it should be about. Now, one player, Anthony Davis, his name continuously comes up. He's always top 5, usually right around top 3, honestly, in block shots, and he's going to, have, 11, 12 rebounds a game too to go along with that. He may even average a steal a game. He's a very versatile big, and he actually feels like it's a little NBA politics to play with that. Take a listen here what Anthony Davis had to say.
When you think about early start of the season, you were being talked about as MVP candidate. You're obviously right there for All-NBA again this season, All-Star, and then Defensive Player of the Year award. When you think about accolades like that, that comes with team success as well. How much in the thick of it do you feel like you are for those awards?
Yeah, Defensive Player of the Year, I don't know. It looked like it's going to go, I don't know. I think.
Do you agree Wemby's going to get it?
I feel like the narrative is being pushed for Wemby to get it, right? Obviously, he's averaging like 4 blocks or something crazy like that. But then it goes back. Are we talking about just blocks? Because then I should so. I don't know. I don't know how anything works anymore.
Now, you could tell, based on his answer that Anthony Davis is frustrated. He feel like he should have gotten it. And Wemby was asked about Anthony Davis's response to that question about him being a narrative that's being pushed. Take a listen here at what Wemby had to say.
Speak about things that are unfair. Recently, Anthony Davis of the Los Angeles Lakers, he stated that he believes there's a narrative being pushed for you to be Defensive Player of the Year. Now, there's a lot of people that chimed in on your defense, but what's your response to people that may believe that if you were to receive an accolade in regards to your defense, do you believe that would be due to an NBA narrative?
I really don't care, about individual accolades, so it's not something I'm gonna worry about. If I end up being Defensive Player of the Year, it means I've helped my team on that side of the court, and it means I've done my best, and I've been rewarded for it. But at the end of the day, the best reward is the wins. So it's even though it feels unfair, it's never something all these things I'm not gonna use excuses for it. If you ask me about it, I'm gonna be honest. Of course, I'm not gonna say, oh yeah, it was perfect. But it's never, as I said, I'm a player. I'm never gonna use anything as an excuse, and I'm always gonna try and be the better man and do the extra effort.
Now, Wemby, took exception to that, and so that's why I'm sure his answer, not that he don't believe it. He's like, yeah, it's about wins and losses. I don't care about individual accolades. And I understand that mentality where he's coming from. He's like, look, if I handle my business as a leader on this team, individual accolades are going to come with that team success. So he didn't get in the weeds and say, no, there's no narrative push. He didn't give them probably the answer even they wanted to hear. But let me tell you who did. DeMarcus Cousins. Oh, listen, him and Anthony Davis played together. They, over are alumnus of, the University of Kentucky. So they have that Wildcat blood running through them. But DeMarcus didn't hold nothing back. He like, look, Anthony Davis a little bit too late to start all that complaining.
AD's a couple years too late with complaining about this situation. He should have been complaining when Rudy was getting all these rewards by default. I do feel that AD should have more than one Defensive Player of the Year award. He's been a defensive dynamite since he stepped foot in this league. He's definitely one of the best bigs on the defensive end, and I agree with him to a certain extent when it comes to he should have had rewards already, and but as of now, I just think Wemby he's a different animal, man, and you have to accept that. We're seeing things from him that we'll probably never see again in the game. So I think he's a couple years too late when it comes to complaining about it now.
I agree. I 100% agree. It's a little too late to talk about a narrative being pushed, and are we just talking about blocks? I mean, Rudy Gobert, check it. He has 4 Defensive Player of the Year awards. Now, if you actually watch basketball, even in Minnesota's run last year to the Western Conference Finals, there were times where, Rudy Gobert is a good rim protector, especially on the help side. He's really good. That's where his skill lies. And he's got a lot of length. He changes a lot of shots. So no disrespect to him. But I believe what a lot of players are also talking about is when they call for him to come up on the screen and they put him in a situation, a player that moves a little better laterally, like a Anthony Davis, like a Wemby, like a Bam, they are actually able to not be a liability on the defensive end when it comes to stepping out on the floor a little bit further. And that's fair. That's definitely warranted. Shout out to DeMarcus Cousins for letting Anthony Davis know, look, I understand your complaint. You should have had, more Defensive Player of the Year awards, but your complaint should have happened while Rudy Gobert was racking up all those awards, because now there's a new sheriff on town. And if you've never been to a game, Wemby is one that when you see him on the court, and if you've played basketball on any level, high school, college, you see him on the court and you're like, man, my teardrop, I'd have to start from this far out. And I'd have to put that bad boy pretty high pretty quick. It ain't got time to float. His arm is like paint to paint. If he's standing in the middle, his length kind of goes paint to paint, like from one side of the paint to the other. And that's going to change the type of passes you can throw around him. That's going to change the type of shots you can get off. He just changes everything. He kind of shuts down certain areas. Now, of course, you're going to get highlight plays being like that. So you've had, I think, Giannis, Ja Morant, even Kevin Durant. I remember getting a dunk on him. That just comes with the territory. These are world-class athletes. But I'm talking about, time on court. Oh, he's changing more shots and blocking more shots than he's actually going to get dunked or scored on in the paint. Let me know what you guys think, man. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I'm going to holler at you guys next time. Peace.